appointed by the City Council, and we serve on a voluntary basis without compensation. Our procedure for conducting business is the petitioner for each item will be asked to come forward, state your name for the record, and present his or her request. When you come to the podium up here, please adjust the microphone so that both I can hear you and the recorder will pick it up so that the minutes can be concocted, written, developed. The board will ask any questions they have after you present your project. Then anyone wants to speak to the proposal will be asked to come forward and voice their opinions. If there are opposing viewpoints, each side will have 10 minutes to speak. All comments should be about the project being presented. This is not a venue to air your personal grievances. If you hear the gavel, you are out of order, and if you persist, you will be removed from the meeting. Once your request is heard and the board's decision is rendered, you may leave the meeting. However, if you have questions for staff, please wait until after the meeting is over or contact staff the next day to ask your questions. Once public testimony for a particular item is concluded, the members of the board will deliberate and render a decision. Members with a personal or financial interest in any request are required to recuse themselves from voting. All decisions by the Architecture Review Board are final. Any person having a request for a certificate of appropriateness denied by the board may appeal such denial to the Montgomery Circuit Court. Any such appeal shall be filed to the Circuit Court within 30 days after receipt of the notice of the final decision. We have 5 members present, and it takes 5 members to pass a motion.
You have 6.
Oh, did Hillary come? Thank you, Hillary. All right, you've got a little leeway here that it's not so scary. Because of the number of members present, if you'd like to delay your request, please let us know at the time your request is announced. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce members of the Architecture Review Board. I'm Elizabeth Brown, Jake Johnson, Barry Robinson is not here, John Hayden, John Foshee, Hillary Morgan, and Katie Williams. Our land use staff is Christy Anderson, Paula Wade, Jovan Hines, Russell Stringer, and I don't see Ethan. Am I missing him? He's over there. Oh, thank you, Ethan. All right, our first project is Jose Escobar, Capitol Heights, St. Charles, 2323 St. Charles Avenue.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm here because by knowledge about the city, I don't know when I bought this house and the roof was, like a concrete, and I see another houses around in the city, in the same street where I live, in St. Charles. I have the same material, I thought it was, something we can use. I didn't know. But when I put it out, decide to put to install the metal roof, is because when I took the old roof, everything was prepared, like the boards across for hold I don't need to for shingles. I have to put the other kind of roof. I have to put the decking, but this was all prepared with the boards. That's why I say that it was the best way to do it. But I didn't know because I saw in the area some houses with the same material. I assumed that it was something that it was accepted for the city. But You know, it's expensive to put the decking because you know the material right now is expensive with the COVID. It's well, expensive the wood, and to do it is it's gonna cost me a lot of money to change from metal to the other kind of. But whatever you decide, but I have to do the way you decide to do. If we only have maybe put the front, change the front with shingles, or leave the back. If you just said that, I can that. But the best way for me is to leave it like it is. If you accept the proposal.
Is there anyone from the audience to speak to this project?
I will say that the Capitol Heights Civic Association is against the metal roof. They did not prepare anything based on the information that, because it had previously been denied that we were looking at a shingle roof, they did not submit that officially. And they are attending a roundtable discussion being held elsewhere in City Hall tonight.
Comments from the board?
Mr. Escobar, I understand that you had indicated that since you understand the metal roof is not appropriate, that you had intended to use an asphalt shingle to replace the metal. I think that would be acceptable. So if you, and I understand it's going to have to cost you money with wood prices and whatnot. However, if you're willing to do that, then I'll ask the board or make the motion to approve an asphalt shingle roof, and then at the appropriate time that can be done if you understand that would be acceptable.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay if I leave the back, just put the front.
I think the whole roof needs to be replaced.
Any motion should also have a time frame for completion, because we do have a follow-up court date in a couple of weeks to report back to the judge what the decision of the board was.
Okay.
And that way, we don't have to keep coming back every couple of months to get a status. If you all say 9 months or 12 months, we can have it continued, and then if he brings it into compliance prior to that, we'll ask to have it dismissed.
Mr. Escobar, do you think you can put an asphalt roof on there within 6 months?
Yes, I think I can do. Yeah.
I don't want to rush you. I know that you're going to have to remove one and do some work to prep and then put the other on. But do you feel confident you can get it done within 6 months?
Yes. I
Okay.
can.
Well, with that understanding, Madam Chair, I would move to approve an asphalt shingle roof on this residence, provided that it be replaced within 6 months from tonight.
Second.
What about the color? Color to be approved by,
We allow 3-tab and architectural tab shingles in a dark neutral, and we'll put that in the letter.
Okay.
So it's charcoal, slate, weathered wood, are some of the more common darker shades.
all right.
So we'll put that in the letter.
Okay, you understand, Mr. Escobar, there are certain colors, and I think they're fairly common, so it's not like you'll have to
Yes,
be difficult. I think you understand the colors we're talking about. So again, I'll renew my motion to approve, provided that it's done within 6 months in the approved color.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Foster Dickson, 1247 Westmoreland Avenue, has an errant pecan tree.
Good evening. My name is Foster Dickson, and my wife and I live at 1247 Westmoreland. We're seeking to have that's actually the front of the house. We're seeking to have a pecan tree removed in the back of the house. As you can see from the drawing I've provided, there's 2 large pecan trees there. The house was built in the mid-20s. I have a feeling that the family that lived there before us lived there from the 1940s until we bought the house in 2008. They're long-established pecan trees, but the one closest to the house has limbs growing over our house, particularly over our bedroom and our air conditioning unit. There was another branch that broke off about a year ago that damaged the roof above our son's bedroom, and the roof has been leaking, so we're going to need to get that. It took us a while to find the hole in the roof. There's the limb over the house there. And there's also a limb from that tree over our garage and a limb from the tree behind it over the garage. So we'd like to have the front tree completely removed, and the tree behind it, we'd like to get that limb over the garage trimmed where it won't fall. On that back tree, there was actually a limb that fell on our neighbor's garage and damaged his garage. So I can speak from personal experience that this tree is shedding limbs at the rate of about 1 a year, and it would pretty severely damage the back of the house if we let it stand. So we've talked to Alabama Tree Service. They've talked to us. They say our driveway is particularly narrow because of a fence, so they're going to have a special machine to get up our driveway and into the backyard to cut the tree down and get it removed. We'd like to do that before we fix the roof because, well, for obvious reasons, we don't want to put a new roof on and have that damaged. So we're requesting to do that.
And your replacement tree, you say you want to put a Japanese maple?
We will put a Japanese maple. That'll be, it's close to the house. It'll be a little less cumbersome,
Okay.
right?
Is there anyone in the audience to speak to this project?
Darby Forrester with the Old Cloverdale Association. We have no objection.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? I see here that the urban forester has noted that the replacement should be a canopy tree rather than an ornamental like a Japanese maple.
Okay.
Any other comments from the board?
I do. I noticed you have a popcorn tree and that other pecan tree
It's in the front of the house, right?
in the
pecan.
front of the house.
Yeah.
Are those things you really want to save? I know Russell Street is
That pecan.
not a
yeah.
favorite of popcorn trees. So if it came to pass that tree needed to be like knocked down versus limbed,
The
He
popcorn.
He doesn't have to bring that one to y'all, he can bring that one to me, and it's, and all
Yeah.
will be shortly wet.
That popcorn tree provides some really nice shade. We're about the only house on the street that has a front porch.
well,
And
if you like it, that's fine. I
we
was just
do,
kind of
we
giving
do.
you an out.
Yeah, thank you.
Popcorn trees, but I'm the only
We
person.
would like to get it trimmed off the house so the roofers can work,
Yeah.
but it'll be,
Oh,
that would be very
understood,
minor,
yeah.
yeah.
It's pretty in the fall. I had one in my yard until I had
It is. Yep.
whacked because those little popcorn things, when they start falling, you're going
They
to
do.
trap those inside the house.
And you
But
can't
if
go get the mail barefooted.
Okay.
All right.
All right, may I have a motion on this project, please? If there's no further discussion.
Move to approve as submitted.
Second. Do we need to add the popcorn?
Do
I
you
don't
want?
think so.
No.
No.
Russell will pretty much let you lay waste to any popcorn tree. And he doesn't like Bradford pears either. All right, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you all very much.
Landmarks Foundation, North Hall. You want to reduce your number of magnolia trees by half, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I'm Collier Neely, the Executive Director for the Landmarks Foundation. We want to reduce some of these magnolia trees by about half. They were put in about 35 years ago. They act as like a screen behind the plantation office for the Hagler House. And they sit between that and an outbuilding that's actually one of the remaining enslaved dwellings in old Alabama town. They've created a microclimate that's kind of tearing these buildings up, as well as the Hagler House itself. But they're also doing detriment to each other. And so by thinning these trees out, we hope that we will get healthier trees that will provide a better screen.
Magnolias are so cute when you plant them. 35 years later, not so much.
No.
It's amazing how fast you don't think they're gonna grow that fast, that big, but they do.
They do.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't keep them trimmed and corralled, they'll get away from you real quick.
And one of the ones we're taking down actually has a branch that kind of extends out over the entrance of that slave dwelling, which is also used as a bathroom. And so it's kind of become dangerous there too, and that tree is not well.
Is there any way you could put a replacement trees for these trees somewhere else on the property? They don't have to go there, but they're just somewhere else on the property.
We haven't considered that, but yeah, we could do that.
You know, whether it's along the street or something else. Isn't that the way it goes, Russell? It doesn't have to go in the same place.
That's right.
Just somewhere else on the property. I think it's important to replace, especially when we're talking about 4 trees, to have a replacement.
Can we go back up so you can get a better sense of how dense these trees are? That's a great picture there. I mean, they're stacked on top of each other, 4 or 5 feet apart at the most.
Yeah, and I just think, 4 canopy trees like that, even though they've done their usefulness here, to replace it in another location would be good, and just to coordinate with Russell Stringer, the location and the type of tree. Would that be acceptable?
We could. I mean, there's plenty of space. We could figure
Just
something out.
just anywhere on the property.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion? Katie, why don't you make the motion since you,
To approve as amended, working with Russell Stringer on replacement trees and location.
all right.
I might have missed it. Did we ask for audience comment?
Don't think we do.
I can't remember that far
I'm
back.
sorry, I'm obviously not completely here tonight. Does anyone from the audience have comments on this project?
Perfect. Sorry to
Now
slow
they're
us
too
down.
scared to stand up, even if they did. I'm sorry. All right, a second on,
Second.
all right, all in favor? Opposed? All right, thank you, Barbara.
Thank y'all.
All right, Salon Mosley, Garden District, 1204 South McDonough Street.
Okay, I'm Salon Mosley, the owner of 1204 South McDonough, and I am requesting.
Would you
You
pull,
need to get closer to the microphone,
pull it
please,
down?
ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's good.
alrighty. I'm requesting that, the only reason why I'm requesting it is the 2 doors on the front to be replaced with Craftsman style doors, or only because I can't fix those doors. Tried. Or the half light doors on the front of the house.
Can we not rehab this, I would say slightly less than half-light door that's on the front door? It looks like the original one.
Can you repeat that?
The door that's on the main front door to the house looks like the original door. It's not quite a half-light door.
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
And so those, I picked out a few doors that you can choose from, and that's in stock, because supplies are very limited.
Are there any comments from the audience on this project? Laura, thank you.
Laura Calloway with the Garden District Preservation Association. While this house has lost many of its original decorative details, it does still have a few that let us know what it looked like when it was new. And the craftsman doors that Ms. Mosley has picked out do not really fit the style of the rest of the house. We would love to see it if she could rehab the door that looks like the original door, but if not, we would really prefer to see something that's a little bit closer to the style of the house than these craftsman doors. I also had some questions about, since we're here on this house, at the present time, the house has 4x4 poles holding up the front porch, and they appear to have been affixed in a way that they look like they're going to be permanent. So we were wondering what the plan is for the trim out of the columns, that also fit the style of the house. I was trying to think if there was anything else, but I guess that's all that we've got about it.
Yeah, they're gonna go back to the original 4x4s trimmed out. We just done for right now.
Oh, okay.
Until we got permission. Yeah, that's
Okay,
just for
'cause
support.
It looks like the front porch boards
Right.
have been cut a little bit short, like there's not room to box them in.
Her contractor has indicated that there is 1.5 inches in front of the post to work with that would accommodate a 3/4 inch, or, a 1 by probably 6 or 8 board plus another 3/4 inch plinth at the base to mimic what had been there before. There had been some concerns raised that if it was boxed in, it would look like it was floating off the edge of the porch floor. The columns are where they need to be on the upper part, and yes, you would have had overhang on both sides for that. It just looks like the porch boards might have been cut a little short, so it's going to be kind of close. But
But I did not add, we are very thankful that you are doing something to make this house look better.
I lived on McDonough Street, right down the street from this house 20 years ago, and it looked just as bad then as it did before you started on your work. So it's delightful to see it become a part of the community again.
Okay.
I love these craftsman doors, but they're not suitable to your house.
Okay.
The door that's there in the center of your house, that former front door, not the one over to the left, is an appropriate door, and it would be great if you could fix that one. Have your carpenter, do the paint removal and rotten wood replacement and things like that that's necessary to reuse that door, and then get a similar door for your the door that's over on the left.
Okay.
The half light is appropriate. I love these craftsman doors, and I hate to tell you no, because I love looking at them, but they're going to look silly on your house. They're just too heavy for it. This is
Okay.
all light and frivolous and open in character.
All right. I can take that. So all I want is what type of door. So I really don't want them to be two mixed match doors.
Uh-huh.
So that's just my preference. I want them to be consistent. So what door will you approve? And I don't have a problem with getting that particular door.
well, I would say that if you find a door that matches either of those two doors, it would not be a board issue at all,
That is correct.
because you're not changing anything. So if you want to see if you can find something that's a little closer to that door, you and I can work that out. You and I can work that out without having to come back.
Okay. All right. I'll continue to look.
It's the style change is what brought you to see us this evening.
Okay. Sounds good.
So what do we need to do to give Ms. Mosley an opportunity to see if she can find a replacement that won't necessitate her coming back? Just ask her.
Right.
I would suggest that if you find none of the doors suitable, that is the cleanest way to do it is to deny the request
Okay.
as presented, because the doors are not in character with the style of the house.
Okay. So if I don't find the door, I'm more of a solution person. If
Okay.
I don't find the door, what do you want me to do? I want to be in compliance, so if I don't find
And we
that door, just
appreciate
tell
it.
me what
It's a lot
day.
easier to, it's
Huh?
nice. And we appreciate you wanting to be in compliance, Ms. Mosley. It's a lot easier to work with people to get in compliance rather
Right.
than have people come in and say, well, we did this, sorry, we want to keep
Right.
it, and then we have to tell them, no, you can't. I agree with Ms. Anderson, to deny your request, give you an opportunity to go, perhaps talk with your carpenter, see if these doors can be rehabbed.
He tried already,
He's
that's why I
already
told
tried.
him.
All right,
Yeah.
that option is done.
Yeah, that's why I'm just keep saying about what door, because we've been trying that and I've been looking for them,
Well,
so.
just looking at this door, it's very similar to the door that is in the back part of my house where it used to go onto a porch and then it got added onto. And essentially, it looks like you have a 5-panel door where someone cut out the upper 2 panels and put a piece of glass in it. So you can still get 5-panel doors. And if your carpenter's good,
Yeah.
and he can cut those panels out and dado in a ledge and put a piece of glass in it, you'd be
Okay.
you'd be good to go.
That's all we need to know.
All
That's
right.
it. Sounds great.
So, have you asked for comments from the audience yet?
I did.
Okay.
And Laura got up and spoke.
Have you asked for, yes, you did. Been a long day and I've only had 9 cups of coffee, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I usually only forget once per meeting.
You ready for a motion, Madam Chair?
Yes, I am.
All right, I move that we deny the request based on the doors that are presented for replacement are not in keeping with the style of the house. That's the motion.
All right.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? All right, and work with Christie on getting the doors correct.
Okay.
And like she said, if you can find the 5-panel door, get it, your carpenter to do what he used to do, you don't have to come see us again.
Okay.
And
Sounds great. Have a great night.
Thank you, ma'am. Mary Elizabeth Walters, 1357 Woodward Avenue. Porch column replacement.
Hi, I'm Mary Elizabeth Walters.
Get closer to your microphone, please. There we go. Thank you.
I got the house this summer and am slowly making my way through what is way more repairs than I expected. Joys of old houses. One of the ones that I thought I had more time on is the columns, which I knew were not in great shape, but they are really not in great shape, as you can hopefully see from some of the close-up pictures. So I am hoping to replace them in the very near future. Most of the front porch is very geometric, and I'm working on restoring, it's the original Craftsman style front door, which I know the rest of the house is not Craftsman, but that door is. So I would like to switch the columns to square, kind of more Federalist colonial, and I've included several pictures of other houses in the neighborhood with similar columns. And the contractor I'm working with says that he can do any of those styles. So if there's a particular one you all wanted, he said he can do this.
Is there anyone in the audience to comment on this project? Darby, thank you.
Darby Forrester, Oak Cloverdale Association, we have no objection.
All right. Comments from the board?
You win the award for the best submitted material for the meeting. It's very thorough. Thank you.
I'm a historian, so the first thing I did was try to actually find what it originally looked like. But this house was not part of the original submission to the National Park Service, so there is no description.
There we go. You are qualified by training and experience to submit this information. Well, if you want to change the columns to square ones, I think that's fine.
Okay.
They need to be properly detailed, like, say, the columns on 1214 Woodward Avenue. You know, has a capital, has a little piece of trim.
Yep, that's what the contractor said, no problem.
And you know you can fix these columns with an epoxy product like Abatron.
You're assuming they're solid underneath, which is not an assumption I am comfortable making with this house.
It's very good in compression in wet situations like this. So if you might want to consider that as an option and keep your round columns, but as you don't like them. Any other comments from the board?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve as submitted.
Second.
All in favor? All right. Go and have fine columns, and thank you for your good submission. Is Mr. Aspinwall here, 825 Park Avenue?
Haven't seen him.
All right, he failed to come. Matthew Schwanek, 303 Felder Avenue.
Good evening.
Good
I'm
evening.
Matthew Schwanek of 303 Felder Avenue, and I submitted a request for work that requires the demolition of the garage at 303 Felder and the construction of a new garage in its place. On the 19th of May, my neighbor's oak tree came down on top of the garage, and it smashed the roof, the ridge beam, every rafter was splintered, and the joists all came down when they pushed the walls off of vertical, knocked down the rear wall, and destroyed the garage door. The damage is exacerbated by the fact that about a quarter of the timbers in the garage, the mud sill as well as the studs, are eaten out by termites. And since it's been open to the elements for the past 6 months, it's got a good case of rot now. And I'd like to replace it with a new structure. After demolishing that, we'll put in a new foundation, a 14 by 20 structure on the same footprint as the existing structure. It's 5 feet from the north as well as the east property lines, so there's no need for a variance. It'll be all up to code. The current structure wasn't properly sited and hasn't drained properly probably in 50 years. It floods every time it rains. And new electrical installations, and it'll be constructed to match the structures in the neighborhood with the open rafters on the sides. We'll use a hardy board siding for it, which is fireproof as well as termite proof. And of course, put in a new driveway as well. That's required. It's very badly pitted and damaged from settling.
Well, it's a cute garage, and I hate to see it go.
Mm-hmm.
Old trees will do that.
They will indeed.
Yeah. There's no repairing that garage.
If you found someone that could repair it, sir, I'd like to meet them.
Yeah, boy. So would my contractors.
The success of a project like this, I think probably is dependent on a nicely detailed garage door, even if you're going to, and it's hard for me to tell what exactly you're doing as far as the garage door. If I'm missing a drawing, please.
Oh, dear. You know, we're going to put in something that resembled the garage door that I had installed, which was, gosh, only 2 years ago. I did the work on that, and then it was all destroyed, to mimic the style of 1920s carriage house.
The door that you had before was perfect. If you could.
Yeah. Oh no. I intend to have something very close to that put in.
Okay. I'm sorry, sir. The door, page 7H.
Uh-huh.
Is that a photograph of the door that,
Yeah, that's exactly what the old one looked like, yeah.
and is that what you intended?
Oh, yeah,
to-
certainly.
Okay, all right.
I didn't really think very deeply about putting a new style in, but had insisted thinking about the old one.
Excellent.
All right. Any questions from the audience? I'm sorry, Katie. Thank you, Laura.
Like you, I am heartsick because that garage is one of my favorite buildings in the neighborhood, but under the circumstances, we have no objection.
All right.
Just a thought about, they're showing a hip, not a hip roof, the original
A gable
structure
roof.
had a hip roof, and this has a gable, and anyone have any thoughts on that?
We put a gable on the front of the garage to mimic the gables on the house. As cute as it is, the roof style of the old garage doesn't quite match that of the house. We've got a gable ends on both the front house as well as the lower gable on the rear of the house.
But the gables on your house have a different roof pitch.
I can't quite catch
The
that.
gables on your house have a different, they're steeper pitch.
Yeah, well, they use the lower pitch to match the old garage. So we use the same pitch as the old garage, not the house.
But that was a hip roof.
Pardon me?
It was a hip roof, so, it had a different style altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would prefer a hip, but I looked at it and decided that it was a small difference. And that the garage door was more character defining. Yeah. Any other comments? May I have a motion?
Move to approve as submitted.
All in favor?
Need a
You
second.
get a second?
I'm sorry.
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you.
Wait.
What?
What do
I only saw 4 hands.
Okay. All in favor?
4, 2 does not carry.
All right.
Are they abstained or no?
Opposed?
My only thing is the hip roof. That's where we're getting held up.
All right.
We have 2 holdouts for a hip roof.
For what?
A hip roof rather than the gable-in roof.
A hip roof.
Yes, like the one on the old garage.
It won't look as good as the one that we proposed.
I
And that's
agree.
the problem.
Would you consider it, sir?
Yeah, we'll do it. I guess I don't have much choice. I have
Okay.
don't.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the garage as submitted with the exception, or with the only change being a hip roof versus the gable roof shade.
Second.
All in favor? Now you get a unanimous vote. Thank you.
All right.
And I understand that Cameron Bell is not here tonight because his family has COVID. So
Correct.
we appreciate his staying away and hope that he will appear another week.
He plans to be here in February.
All right. The minutes to the last meeting were sent out and I went through them. I didn't see any problems. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? All right.
Madam Chair, I make
Oh,
a motion.
no,
Madam-
no.
Madam Chair, can I make one more motion, please?
What do we do?
I move that we keep the same
There, thank you, John.
chairman and vice chairman for the board.
Second.
Second. Oh,
Third.
I'm honored by your confidence in me.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right. Now, we can go.